Hello everyone, welcome back to Breaklight Productions. My name is Curtis Lambert and today we're reacting to OMNIVORTEX Visitant. Now, as per usual, I'm not familiar with this band, but the thumbnail for the music video looks sick. So I figured, hey, let's give it a crack. I think it's like death metal or something. I'm sure we'll soon find out, but let's get on into it. Ooh, that was a cool logo. Hell yeah, this is sounding like a bit of death metal, you know? Loving the lighting. This looks like something I would shoot. I love my red and blue lighting. Obviously this is all red, but same thing. Nice. Bit of smoke effect. That could just be a post-production like asset, or it wouldn't surprise me if they just had a smoke machine that they fired some smoke out of and just filmed that. But yeah, it looks like you've got basically single point of lighting, like a single source. And it's just, yeah, pumping through that light. Which I would say it just feels like they probably would have done the red filter in post. They may have still had like red on the light, but yeah, I just get the feeling that they did it in post as well, because the candles in the background being the same red means that they would have, you know, fixed that in post. But yeah, and we're seeing like different layers like every now and again pop out. That's just, you know, duplicating the layer, setting the opacity lower, and then just, you know, animating zoom in, zoom out on that layer. Smudging it, blurring it, which is what you're seeing there with the streaks that are coming out every now and again. But I do love how they've in color grading really just like everything that's light or has light on it is red. Everything that doesn't, like their clothing, etc., like they've kept it as black as possible and really crushed it so that it looks like a void. Which is really cool, where you get some of these shots where it's just like essentially like a floating head. Hell yeah. Awesome to see a drummer doing gutturals as well. It's very much like Nile, where it's like they've got multiple vocalists. Ah, hell yeah. And whoa, what? Hand. Videography and editing by Rat Wizard. That is only that, like, that's why I love heavy metal music videos. Like, you see this quite a lot where it like the digital creative or videographer or production company behind some of the music videos, like they have the weirdest names that only like people who work with heavy metal music videos could have. Like, you never see like a rap music video or a country music video with like directed by Rap Wizard. I love it so much, you know. But yeah, that was cool. That was a really simple but effective music video. And yeah, for being so simple, like, there is quite a bit to talk about. So let's jump on into it. So from the get-go, it keeps the energy, you know, it's got that editing, but then on top of that editing, what they're doing is they're getting, like I said, most likely 2 layers, putting the top layer at like a low opacity so that it's basically see-through, but then using that and animating it by using keyframes, which is a, you know, relatively simple once you've wrapped your head around it, to just like zoom in, zoom out, do an effect, blur it, you know, move it around, move it off center. And the beauty of how they've shot this is because it's single point lighting, it's dark, you know, you've got a lot of shadows, they're wearing negative colored clothing as well, so a lot of black. You've got this color grade and way of shooting where it is just, you know, what's in the light is red, what isn't in the light is just the void. And so that makes it really like look good, and really simple when you're doing those opacity changes and stuff. Because as you can imagine, if it's during the, let's say, the day, and it's a perfectly lit scene, you're not just going to see the character, you're going to see the, you know, the background, you're going to see the floor, you're going to see the ceiling, as well as any other sort of you know, things in the space, a light stand. Whereas, yeah, by color grading it like this and lighting it in the first place like this, you can do it a lot easier, because all we're seeing in that opacity layer is really the points that have the light on it, which, you know, when it's like, so if it's like the drummer's face, when you do that second layer, we're just seeing the drummer's face as well, so you can really like add to that effect, and it comes off well. Whereas, yeah, if you saw the whole background, wouldn't really work as well. You know, they've got a bit of smoke, whether that's visual assets added in post or smoke machine on the day, hard to tell. It really could be either way. Another thing I've noticed just now, pausing on the screen, is this actually has great YouTube compression. We've seen some YouTube videos in the past where the compression YouTube puts it through just creates these massive black pixels that just, they look horrible. And then you've got this where, yeah, like, it, don't get me wrong, it's there, but for something like this that is like 90% shadows, you would think it would be a lot worse. Now, we've spoken in the past that you can sort of get around it a little bit with the YouTube compression by uploading in 4K. I don't know why that is. You know, I might have to interview someone someday to get an answer on that. But yeah, it's really good on here. So I wouldn't be surprised if they uploaded a 4K file. And then yeah, like I'm just watching it in 1080p, and like this looks great. Yeah, very little compression at all. I would have liked to have seen some artificial like noise or grain added. Like they might have a bit of it on there, but I think it really could have. They could have made it a bit more dramatic, or and given it that sort of, I don't know, like vintage horror sort of vibe by having a bit more grain. But I don't, that's such a minor like nitpick. I like it either way. The red was definitely, again, they might have used some red gel, or even had a light that can do red on the day, but they've definitely gone over it in another like red filter in post-production, because of all those candles in the background. Like, they wouldn't really be that color, I guess, unless he had like special LED ones, but I don't know why you'd bother with that. But yeah, super cool. And like, I really like this song. I'll have to check out if they've got, more stuff of theirs. Because yeah, that was really giving me like Nile vibes. Like the multiple vocalists, the just heavy riffing, death metal. Like, hell yeah, I love that shit. But yeah. Thank you for watching. Hopefully, you learnt a thing or two from this. And because yeah, this is the type of music video you can just like film in your shed, with a friend's camera. Like it's simple and yet executed so well. But yeah, so hopefully this encourages you to go and do the same. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.